Today's question is, why Docker? Before we get to know why Docker or containerization, let's listen to a short story of how we used to deliver software in the world of the past. We have an organization called My Little World, which has systems and developers. Each developer commits their code to its own system and then share it using a shared system. Rocky picks it up from the shared system, being the build engineer, builds the code, and deploys the final artifact back to the shared system. Benny picks it up from there, being the deployment engineer, and delivers it to the happy customer. Everything looks to be fair until the developers get into conflicts. Every time they have to resolve the conflict before putting the code on the shared drive. So they decide it's a waste of time to be doing that. So they come up with a source code management system. For now, it is Git. The ops team says, okay, we will take the code which you have in Git, use Jenkins to build instead of building it on a local system, and then deliver it to the remote repository, JFrog Artifactory in our case. The deployment engineer says, all right, I'm going to pick up the code artifact from JFrog and deliver it to happy customer. So the full story is developers commit to Git, Jenkins picks it up from Git, builds the artifacts and deploys it to a remote artifactory, JFrog. Another instance of Jenkins picks up the artifact from JFrog and delivers it to dev environment and then to production environment. Birth of containers. Everything was going well until a question came saying, hey, it doesn't work in production anymore. The developer says, deployment fails in prod, but works on my system. Smarty, a member of the ops team, thinks, wow, this works on dev machine. Why not deliver his system to prod? So he comes up with a theoretical model where he creates a wrapper, bundles the operating system of the developer, puts the execution environment of the developer, and then finally the code of the developer, and delivers it to production. The model that he comes up with is a Docker file, which mentions what's the operating system, that's where the from comes from, then run says which execution environment to install, and then what code to copy. Once all of that is done, what you have is a Docker file, which is a manifest. And from the manifest, you use Docker build to create the Docker image. And then you take the Docker image and do a Docker run to create a Docker container for dev. Similarly, you do a Docker run to create a Docker container for test. And then Docker run to create a Docker container for prod. Understand here, it's the same image used for multiple environments. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.